Hello, this is Unlimited Splash, where we get better at Magic together through a new draft every day. Today, I'm jumping into a best-of-3 Lorwyn traditional draft with the goal of racking up more play-in points. As you can see, right over there, I currently have 6 play-in points, which is what you get for getting a perfect trophy 3-0 run in a best-of-3 traditional draft. You need 20 play-in points in order to buy in to Arena Champs Qualifier play-in weekend. And going 3-0 gets you 2 play-in points. So I'm chasing another 7 3-0 results. We really want to get one of those today. Let's jump in. All right, very nice start to the draft here with Champions of the Shoal, which is definitely one of the top rares in the format. Gives us a strong point of view in the draft, which is that you cannot cast this spell unless you have a Merfolk to behold. So we absolutely need a Merfolk. This isn't just a, oh, it gets better if you have more Merfolk. No, you need to meet a certain Merfolk threshold if you're going to play this bomb. So I'm going to take it. We'll see if the Merfolk are forthcoming. I will say Eclipse Flamekin is a strong card in the pack as well, but Champions of the Shoal is the kind of a bomb that you almost don't really pass pack 1, pick 1. There are very few other cards you could open alongside it that you would prefer. Assert Perfection turns out to be perhaps the strongest common in the format, but definitely going for Champions of the Shoal here. And hey, maybe we can wheel a Silvergill Peddler to go along with it. Pick 2. Very interesting one. So Celestial Reunion is not really a card. It is a mythic rare, but trading down on mana to find creatures is usually not good, except Green Sun Zenith turns out to be like the best green card in Vintage Cube, or Arena powered cube at least. But Celestial Reunion is not doing it in this premier set. Twin Flame Travelers is a super fun one to take, and very, very tempting to take this and just say, now I'm running Merfolk and Elementals against each other essentially, and I'll take any blue card, because it would go well in either deck. I think any other pack would be way too tunnel visioning on Merfolk. Probably the best Merfolk in the pack is just Rooftop Percher, but I have Twin Flame Travelers way over Rooftop Percher if there's a chance of going Elementals. So we're going to take this and we'll run the Merfolk and the Elementals options against each other. Another very interesting pack. So probably the best card in this pack is actually Virulent Emissary. This card is really good. It's just super pushed, but it's very different from the first 2 cards that we picked. But we have no signals yet. It's only pack 1, pick 3. So we should be wide, wide, wide open. We've also gotten a Lissalina Informant here in this pack. And there's a Blightrot, and I could take Wanderbrine Preacher if I wanted to go heavily towards the Merfolk game plan. But I'm just going to take Virulent Emissary. I think it's just a clear most powerful card in the pack. And for the first 3 picks of any draft, you should just be taking the most powerful cards, in my view, with very little preference for how you started out the draft. Here, speaking of the most powerful card, Omni Changeling, pick 4 is when you maybe start to properly see signals. And Omni Changeling is a signal in my view. This is a very, very, very strong card. It has Convoke. It's a clone effect, but it has Convoke and it has Changeling, and it keeps the Changeling after its Convoke. So super strong card. I would not be sad to, I mean, the wheel could be informative here. Dundulan Weaver is pretty strong, so is Wanderbrine Preacher. I mean, these are fine 2-drops. Changeling Wayfinder is nice for any deck that wants splashing. We'll see if anything really wheels. Let's see, there'll be 2 cards left in this pack at the end. But I'm happy with an Omni Changeling. I like this card a lot. Wow, what an interesting draft this is. I mean, Iron Shield Elf and Dawnhand Eulogist are both prime pieces for the Elves deck. So we may now be starting to get signals that Elves is open. Iron Shield Elf, I think, was an overperformer in the early format, but has gotten worse as time goes on. It's not that great an effect on its own. It's just that getting cards into your graveyard is synergistic in Elves. So for example, there are situations where you discard a card and then you kind of get compensated for that discard by sacrificing a Morkant's Eyes or playing a Gloom Ripper or something. I think I will take the Iron Shield Elf because there's essentially no Merfolk and essentially no Elemental to speak of. I will say I'm really, I'll be a little bit sad if blue gets cut because we do have a lot of power in blue by now, but you can't just get married to your initial picks, right? We have to read the room. So I do not like Noggle the Mind. Glamormite is a possibility. What is the most powerful card in the pack? I mean, Brambleback Brute can be okay in a hyper aggressive deck. Mist Meadow Council is nice in Kithkin. I might be getting signals that Kithkin is a little bit open, but I think specifically, we saw elf pieces, cards that are specifically for elves. So I think I'll take Glamormite. I feel like it's better than any of the other options there. And wow, it kind of looks like Merfolk and Elves are both open. I'm going to lean towards Merfolk. I mean, look, we have the Champions of the Shoal, Omni Changeling, and a Glamormite for Merfolk. For Elves, we have Virulent Emissary and Iron Shield Elf. So, and I do think, well, Wanderwine Farewell and Dawnhand Eulogist are kind of comparably good cards. Dawnhand Eulogist has to be very specifically in an Elf stack, whereas Wanderwine Farewell could totally go in an Elemental stack that happens to also be playing like Omni Changeling and a few incidental Merfolk. So I might be ignoring a very important signal here about Elves, but what can you do? I mean, we're following a very important signal about Merfolk to my mind. These are both Merfolk, these 4-drop cards, but they're both rather bad Merfolk. There's also Thirst for Identity. No, do not leave the draft table. I just want to change my layout, please. I think maybe Shore Lurker. Well, the thing about Thirst for Identity is it would go in a deck that plays Twin Flame Travelers and a bunch of other elementals. I think I just want the Merfolk that plays to the board, enables my Champions of the Shoal. Now we're wheeling Silvergill Peddlers as we anticipated might happen. This was the card that we wanted to wheel, and then I'll take another Silvergill Peddler. These are all subpar black cards, so I don't really consider any of that a signal. And now we have a kind of a Merfolk density that would support playing a Champions of the Shoal. None of these cards are any good. I'm probably more likely to want Summit Sentinel than Wildvine Pummeler. Not exactly sure that Merfolk itself specifically is open, but here comes Wanderbrine Preacher to totally reassure me. So I'm going into pack 3 expecting to be Merfolk, unless proven otherwise. We did pass a lot of Elf stuff. Last pick, Dawnhand Eulogist. This is a chaotic draft table. This is one of the best commons in the entire set. So should not really be seeing that one last pick, I'll tell you that much. But we're in this position now. I mean, maybe we should have gone Elves, I guess. I didn't know I would be seeing last pick Dawnhand Eulogist. I think here, okay, we have a few different options. One is to get a little bit more splashy and a little bit more flexible with it and play Eclipse Flamekin. It's very possible that we play in Elementals, which is the most powerful card in the pack is probably Pitiless Fist, but I feel like that path has sailed. So you could take Eclipse Flamekin and say, hey, maybe we end up in an Elemental stack playing like Omni Changeling, Twin Flame Travelers, and so on, and we just have enough Elementals that we get to cast Champions of the Shoal. The other option is to take Gravelgill Scoundrel and just fully lock in on Merfolk. For me, I'm actually going to take the Flamekin for the simple reason that like I really do not have that much commitment to white. You could conceivably play this in a Merfolk deck, but you probably wouldn't. I mean, what a pack. This is the ultimate decision moment. Merfolk or Elementals. Ashling Rekindled is absolutely a top bomb in the Elementals deck. It would go nicely with Twin Flame Travelers. But Deep Channel Duelist is the Merfolk Lord. Both of these cards are super strong. This pick is like a personality test. I think because I have Champions of the Shoal, and also this part's very important, I have not drafted Merfolk that much recently at all, and I quite like that deck. I would enjoy getting some more Merfolk decks in. I think I'm going to take the Deep Channel Duelist. Ashling Rekindled might be the pick. It might be the pick. I would not blame anyone who went with Ashling Rekindled there. Taster of Wares does not belong in this pack. Extremely, extremely strong card. I definitely think that Taster of Wares should be on your radar as a card that probably should not be here, pack 2, pick 3. It is essentially a Ravnica Rats at its absolute worst, but it gets way, way, way better than that if you meet some conditions. Having said that, I'm now thinking I'm very likely to be Merfolk. I think Spiral into Solitude is preferable over Liminal Hold or Temporal Cleansing just for the mana cost. The Merfolk deck wants to be highly aggressive. Note that we are now seeing Eclipse Flamekin and Colorad Zealot. It's a little bit rough for our decision to lean towards Merfolk, but now I do feel pretty priced in to prefer the Merfolk card. And this is also very weak. Wow, what a chaotic table. I do feel like people around me are not doing the most coherent things, to be honest. A lot of these packs have, I mean, you just shouldn't be seeing like last pick Dawnhand Eulogist, really strong blue-red cards into really strong black cards with a strong blue-white card right before it. This is just kind of chaotic. I'm inclined to take, I mean, maybe I take Foraging Wickermaw to get a little splashy with it, but I actually think I'll just take the flyer that can end games. This is not a good card, but I respect it more than pretty much anything else in the pack, and I will say that was a very weak pack. Here, there's a strong Merfolk card. Very happy to see the Merrow Skyswimmer. Hopefully I'm not getting cut on Merfolk. It's possible. It's possible that we're getting cut on Merfolk now, but hopefully not. I mean, there is still time to reorient back to elementals if need be. We're not at the point of no return. Here I'll take a Gravelgill Scoundrel. I like the Silvergill Peddler, the Shore Lurker, and so on, but I think 2-drops are really what this deck needs. Goes great with Deep Channel Duelist. It's a tap enabler, which is going to make it nice to have some tap payoffs. Here I guess I'll take Sundappled Celebrant, another card that can just end games if need be. Not going to play Appeal to Airdew or Rhymefire Torque. This suggests that Goblins is open, and Rage Flamecaster is a pretty nice piece for Elementals, so that could also suggest that Elementals is pretty open right now. Here, I mean, honestly, I kind of want Unexpected Assistance. It's possible I should just take another Sundappled Celebrant. Both of these are really nice in the Merfolk deck because of Convoke. So I'm going to cut these cards, and let's think about the trade-off here. Honestly, I might just prefer the Sundappled Celebrant, and we're just going to try to curve out and win. That's it. That was an interesting choice. I'm really not sure what the right move was there. This definitely assures me that blue and white are okay places to be. So I'll take the Kulrath Mystic. Wow, Flamekin Guildweaver. Okay, so maybe I should have just been Elementals. Is there another Merfolk drafter at the table? It's possible. Maybe I'll speculate on this. What if I open like an Elementals Bomb last pack? Well, here's Temporal Cleansing. That's a really nice one. You know, if I open like a Rhyme, Tamfel Rhyme Speaker or another Ashling Rekindled, it still might be the case that I should just jettison my white and flip back into Elementals. Very possible. Flame Chain Mauler is also an Elemental, but a very bad one. Okay, here we have some interesting stuff. So Kinscare Sentry is a really good one, as is Glenalendra's Answer. I think I'm likely to prefer the 2-drop that is highly aggressive over the counterspell on a 1/1. I wonder if the Mythic is actually just a better card though. I think it's pretty close, but I think in this deck, Kinscare Sentry is going to be better. The thing is, if you have this though, you do want combat tricks to be able to actually push it. It's not synergistic in creature type, but it is highly synergistic in game plan. A 2/2 First Strike Lifelink is exactly the kind of a card that this deck wants to play turn 1, much more than it wants to play like Summit Sentinel. I'm actually going to move that Summit Sentinel off to the side because that's almost certainly not where our mind is at. Also, it'd be nice if we don't have to play these Kulrath Mystics. Yeah, we're kind of scrapping here, aren't we? Maybe I should have been Elementals, but we didn't really have a clear signal at the time when I sort of felt I had to make that call. Okay, here we have, I think I want Tributary Vaulter, or no, maybe I want the Merrow Skyswimmer. Tributary Vaulter is really good with, for example, Gravelgill Scoundrel, but I think Merrow Skyswimmer is just a premium Merfolk. So I'm gonna move this over here, cut. And we're looking at something like this, hopefully not playing the Kulrath Mystics or the Summit Sentinel. So maybe I really do want the 3-drop. Well, tapping your Silvergill Peddlers is not a bad fate at all. These guys let you loot. Yeah, and hopefully if I've read the table right, I mean, there might be one other Merfolk drafter, but hopefully we have a good chance of wheeling Tributary Vaulter. So, okay, I'll take the Merrow Skyswimmer. We might have a good chance of wheeling the Merrow Skyswimmer, to be honest, but that's okay. I'll take Glamour Gifter. Goblins continues to be open. I would not mind that Temporal Cleansing. Honestly, if I wheel any of these 4 cards, Flock Imposter, Riverguard's Reflexes, Silvergill Peddler, or Temporal Cleansing, at the moment, any one of those would make my deck. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Glamour Gifter though, because that's the best card in the pack. And Unwelcome Sprite, also a very good one. Tristan is a nice one as well. Dang. But Unwelcome Sprite is a very good one. Again, not synergistic in terms of Merfolk, but I don't have that many cards that count Merfolk. I think I'm above the level where I'm worried about Champions of the Shoal. 9 Merfolk and a Shapeshifter. So I have essentially 9 other Merfolk. Yeah, I mean, it's not ideal, but hopefully we can replace like the Kulrath Mystics and the Summit Sentinels with, yeah, sure, a Pestered Wellguard. Why not? I do think I want some cards higher up on my curve. So I would rather this than like Mischievous Sneakling, for example, by a long shot. Happy to take the Pestered Wellguard. Another Gravelgill Scoundrel would be nice. Wanderbrine Trapper would be like maybe the top card. Well, the top card would be like another Merfolk Lord. Another Deep Channel Duelist. But yeah, Wanderbrine Trapper. Here I'll take Blossom Bind. I mean, Wanderbrine Distractor, I actually don't hate. It turned out not to be nearly as good as I thought it would be. Still don't hate that card though. So right now we're looking at probably playing the 2 Kulrath Mystics and the Summit Sentinel, or probably cutting 1 Kulrath Mystic. I mean, no, I'm more likely to play Kulrath Mystic than Summit Sentinel, to be honest. It's like not horrible in the Merfolk deck because it can attack and then tap. Here it's a choice between Wanderbrine Preacher and Rooftop Percher. I'm just going to take the Preacher. It has a tap activated benefit, and I can cut... Is it reasonable to cut a Kulrath Mystic for it? It's definitely reasonable. And I'm still hoping to wheel another Silvergill Peddler. Okay, very nice. We actually did wheel the Tributary Vaulter. Very, very happy with that one. I will cut probably, let's see, probably cut Kulrath Mystic for Tributary Vaulter. That makes sense to me. We're just playing a highly aggressive deck now. I think that was our last chance at a Tributary Vaulter, but that's okay. Here, maybe I cut some random cheaper card. Like maybe I cut Gleamermite for Shore Lurker. I really do want to curve out though. Probably I'm only playing one Shore Lurker. Ooh, I'll definitely play Tributary Vaulter over a Gleamermite. Although I don't actually have that many ways of tapping my creatures. I guess the Sun-Dappled Celebrants. I was really hoping to get another Unexpected Assistance. I have no card advantage, but that's okay. We are really an aggro deck. I'll take this Pummeler for higher. Would I rather play Gleamermite than something less expensive or something more expensive? I don't think so. My deck is highly aggressive, and that's probably how the Merfolk deck should be. Remember, every single one of these creatures has Convoke. So actually, maybe I play Gleamermite and 16 lands. Because all of my more expensive spells, even Wanderbrine Farewell, even Temporal Cleansing, these all have Convoke. And I am trying to tap my creatures a lot. So I think Gleamermite and 16 lands is a good plan. And I'm probably on 9 islands. And, or sorry, 8 islands, 8 plains, right, because it's 16 lands. Okay, so actually we have our deck. Let's just take one glance at what we're leaving in the sideboard. Gonna go down to 16. Some Sentinel Illusion Spinners. I mean, maybe there's a world where you want to put in the Illusion Spinners and have another way to win, but I don't think so. Kinscare Sentry, Kinscare, the, 2/2 that puts something into play, that's also a reason to play fewer lands. It's not like it's a mana dork, but kind of in a way. All right, so let's hope for a good match 1. Well, we're entering our match, I do want to say. I post a new draft video every day. I really work hard to talk through my decisions extremely carefully, to make my thinking really transparent to you so that we can grow together as drafters, as a community. It's really important to me to be better tomorrow than I am today, and to bring a community along with me as limited Magic improvers. And of course, to have a lot of fun, play a lot of value cards, and get away with some splashes and some stuff along the way. If that appeals to you, do go ahead and subscribe to the channel. You can do it really quickly by just clicking on the description. There's a link at the very top. Click on that link and you'll be subscribed. Super fast. All right, this is traditional draft, so there's an actual die roll. We won the die roll and we will be on the play. Very nice hand, especially with a 16 lander. Should be full of action. So I'll definitely play the Kinscare Sentry first. Well, they could have Cinder Strike. Does that change my thinking? The other option would be lead with Gravelgill Scoundrel. Next turn, play the Kinscare Sentry. I think it's okay if they want to spend turn 2 Cinder Striking this. It would be a little annoying, but the other option is like, I would really have to leave up Glamour Gifter, and that will take a lot more mana. So I'll go ahead and play Gravelgill Scoundrel. I mean, they didn't evince Cinder Strike, and Glamour Gifter will not save the Kinscare Sentry from a Blight Rot. Okay, so now I can... Let's see, this is kind of interesting. I can attack with both, putting Glamour Gifter into play. That doesn't sound so great. I kind of want to just go with Merrow Skyswimmer. Yeah, let's just play the Skyswimmer here. Just develop the board. And then next turn I could attack with 4 creatures, put a Pestered Wellguard into play. Unfortunately, can't tap it to the Gravelgill Scoundrel because it won't work out in that order. All right, so... Yep, let's attack with everything. And Glamour Gifter will let us trade. So I'll put a... I think Pestered Wellguard sounds like the better one over Shore Lurker. Put in Pestered Wellguard. It doesn't become tapped. And then I can, if they block the Wellguard, I will Glamour Gifter it. I don't know, maybe Shore Lurker would have been the better one to trade here. I'm not totally certain. Very interesting that they just didn't block with anything. I guess their argument is that they can just outrace me. Do I just play Silvergill Peddler and just accept the damage? Kind of sounds good, honestly. I mean, they could be representing the Mythic board wipe here. That would be an issue if they play that next turn. But I actually think if they want to attack me for 9 or whatever, maybe they play some goblins and then attack me for, you know, 13. That's actually okay. I could always chump block. Interesting. All right, so I'll probably just chump block. Do I just take the 12 and go down to 10? Because I can deal 4, 5, 6 damage at any point. And I have a 4 power lifelinker. I could chump with Silvergill Peddler. I'm going to have 1/1 chump blockers next turn. I think I can just take it. It's a lot of damage, but I think I can just take it. So I'll play this, and then let's see. I can attack with Kinscare Sentry, Gravelgill Scoundrel, Merrow Skyswimmer, tap the Pestered Willguard, and probably also attack with the Silvergill Peddler. Get a 1/1 as a chump blocker, put a Shore Lurker into play tapped and attacking. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and it's a lethal attack. I have to attack with 4 creatures, but it is a lethal attack. So I'll do this. Draw a card and discard a card. Probably discard Wanderwine Farewell. I don't really see that one getting played. I'll put Shore Lurker into play. It enters an Ice Veil. Put that in the bin. And I will tap the Willguard to make a 1/1. And go to blockers. 3, 4, 5, 9. All right. Glamour Gifter. I will buff Gravelgill Scoundrel. And if I counted correctly, that should be the game. All right, we got there. Very nice. All right, so they're just like a highly, highly aggressive Goblins deck. That's what we're up against. Did feel like I was a touch low on lands. I don't know, maybe Wanderwine Farewell is tough on 16, but I could have played it if I needed to. Like one option would be cut the Wanderwine Farewell for a Shore Lurker or something. That doesn't sound so good to me. I also have kind of felt like I wanted chump blockers, but I really don't think I'm supposed to put in a Summit Sentinel. No, I think my deck is good the way it is. I mean, maybe I could put in like Summit Sentinel over Shore Lurker to get one step faster. But flying seemed really good, didn't it? Yeah, I think I like the balance that I have right now. Well, that's a clear mulligan. This is best of 3, so you can get these just completely dysfunctional hands, unfortunately. Oof, another terrible one, but I really don't want to go to 5. I think I just hope to draw one of my islands. But I just have no play. Yeah, I probably should actually go to 5 here. I mean, I'm on the draw. So I think I have like an 80+% chance of getting an island within the first 3 turns. Okay, I guess I'll keep. I guess I'll actually keep. Most of the time, I'll get an island in time to play Silvergill Peddler. Not just most, but like a clear big majority of the time. Tributary Vaulter is not a horrible draw. It's if I draw another plains and I have a creature. Okay, this is this is an issue. I don't know. Do I cut some random 2-drop for another land? I'm definitely feeling choked on lands both games, so maybe 16 is just greedy. And now my opponent is completely un-mana screwing themselves. Okay, that was exactly what we needed to see. So let's go ahead with a Silvergill Peddler. It gives us card selection. If we draw land, we can play Merrow Skyswimmer and select our cards. Blossom Bind is actually a nice find here. Let's Blossom Bind the Bone Club Berserker and attack, I think. And then hope to draw land, basically. Hoping to draw land. Oh, wow. Maybe I cut... I can't have all of these Convoke creatures. Omni Changeling's really good. Sundappled Celebrant is a really nice stabilizing card. Maybe I cut Tributary Vaulter? Maybe I cut Gravelgill Scoundrel. 2-drop into a bunch of bigger stuff. Yeah. I think this Scoundrel maybe is not the best. Wonderbrine Trapper can drop, or can gain me life. Wow, but that's a lot of not drawing lands, you know? That is a lot of not drawing lands. Another Bone Club Berserker is an issue for sure. That is an issue for me. Okay, that's a land. Play this, and I could play an Omni Changeling and get my own Bone Club Berserker, which would be a No, only a 2/4. Never mind. I thought it would be a 4/4 for some reason. Okay, so I'll play Merrow Skyswimmer because it's mana efficient, which really matters right now. Probably now I can get rid of Tributary Vaulter. It can also double block the Eclipsed Boggart, which I think might be the play because they haven't shown me any removal yet in either game. And Bone Club Berserker getting smaller probably matters. Elder Ante. Okay. Copy and Flamekin Guildweaver might be good for me. Okay, well then I'll obviously just chump Bone Club Berserker. All right, then I get a land. So I could play a Sundappled Celebrant. I can also Omni Changeling. If you Omni Changeling the Eclipse Boggart, well, I can't get a land. Can't get a land that way because I don't have any mountains or swamps. I could Omni Changeling Flamekin Guildweaver to block their Bone Club Berserker. I think let's play Sundappled Celebrant. So first I attack with Merrow Skyswimmer. Then I'm going to play the Sundappled Celebrant. I could actually tap the Silvergill Peddler, but I think it's better at just keeping things back, so let's not do that. And then my idea is next turn I'm going to Omni Changeling my Sundappled Celebrant. Or no, I'm going to have to trade with Bone Club Berserker here, aren't I? It's looking rough. This is looking rough. Okay, Giant Fall. Yeah, I've seen enough. They showed me Giant Fall. That's enough info. I don't really want to give them more info. I'm going to 17 lands. This has been a bit of a disaster from a lands perspective, and let's cut a Sundappled Celebrant, something like that. Maybe I do cut Shore Lurker for Summit Sentinel. Apparently I'm not the aggressor. No, that's an overreaction, isn't it? Maybe cut Shore Lurker for another Sundappled Celebrant. That could be good. 4 power really matters. Maybe I also want to run away together to do tricks with like bouncing a goblin to shrink their guy. But no, I think all that is overreacting. And I think I actually was right that I want the double blue. Okay. Yeah. The double goblin creature, that was really tough. And then I just wasn't like, against that, what I specifically need is to play my bigger creatures and have them resolve, you know, have them not get removed. And also chump blockers, you know, or chump blockers until I can actually deal with the X4. And them hitting the hitting 2 of those X4s, getting them really huge, getting to play a bunch of different creatures, and then finding removal. You know, if I don't have the lands to keep up, that's just too tall of an order. So let's hope for the support that we need to play out our hand this time. All right, I'll be on the play for sure. Yeah, I mean, that's looking good, right? This is a hand that has a future and enough early stuff to hopefully not get completely run over. Their deck's actually not that aggressive. That's one thing about the Goblins deck. It's actually not that aggressive a deck. There aren't that many like amazing 1-drops or 2-drops. They have a 3-color deck? Did they just sideboard into a 3rd color? That would be really funny. All right, I'm actually going to go for the Merrow Skyswimmer here. Even though it's kind of a good one to champion. Yeah, I'll pitch the land. I'm most likely to just want to play champion next turn. And both of those, all those other cards are really good, I think. All right, if they play the 2/4 here, yeah, you're getting locked down, my friend. You are getting locked down, my friend. Lock you down. Play a land. I like this line because I get to play Tributary Vaulter. Okay, maybe I actually pitch Unwelcome Sprite here. Sundappled Celebrant is a really good one. Kind of weird to pitch Unwelcome Sprite when I think it's really good in this matchup, but I think Tributary Vaulter is going to be better. This is representing a lot of damage in the air between Tributary Vaulter and Skyswimmer. And Sundappled Celebrant is a really good one against them. And we're still just holding on to Champions of the Shoal. Probably whatever they do next turn, I'm going to play Champions of the Shoal, lock down their creature. If they have the Mythic board wipe, then we're in trouble, but they have not shown that to me yet. So, knock on wood. That's all I can say. The only issue with this is I do have to behold something, like behold my 1/1 maybe. It's kind of unfortunate. I could attack first, but I don't think that's right. The other option is like Sundappled Celebrant tapping the Tributary Vaulter, give this guy +2, and then attack with these two? Nah, that's not as good. So if I get board wiped, so be it. I'm just gonna lose my 1/1. A little unfortunate to not have something that I can actually get back when the Champions dies, because that's part of the good thing about the Champions, but this basically demands a board wipe. I think, you know, it's hard for them to get out of this just by playing some good cards. That's how good Champions of the Shoal is. If they have the Mythic board wipe, then it's GG, they've won. Actually, they cannot kill Champions of the Shoal with the Mythic board wipe, can they? It would be maximum 4. This is when it becomes tapped. So if I convoke Sundappled Celebrant out with Champions, which I don't think I'll do, but in the event, like, if they play a whatever, 10-10 something, whatever, somehow, then I can convoke this with the Champions, lock that thing down and attack. Tristan's Command, yeah. That's what the green splash is for, evidently. Also, it's funny, this thing could not have been stunned. Because Champions, because Blossombind says, you know, you can't stun it. Okay. In with the team, and I'll offer the trade of Silvergill Peddler, right? I will offer that trade. Maybe that's a little bit passive, perhaps. Because it doesn't push quite as much damage. But now with the Sundappled Celebrant coming down, and this is lethal in the air next turn. This is lethal, and these two are lethal. Let's see what else they've got for 4 mana here. That sound is so loud. I turned on the sound in the comments because people mentioned that they like it. It makes it like easier to track the game, track what's going on. Let me know what you think. Still trying to get like sound balance right. You know, I only started streaming like a few months ago. So, or posting videos. So yeah, let me know. Is the balance right? Should it be a bit louder? Do you like it with the sound? Do you like it without the sound? All right. Nice clean match 1. On to match 2. All right, another 1 die roll. That's what I like to see in my aggro deck. Not that it matters that much. You know, you never like starting with a Lord, especially when it can just get Cinder Striked or Assert Perfectioned or whatever. But, you know, I've seen worse 2-drops, obviously. Play this, play Silvergill Peddler, etc. If I draw another 2-drop, I'll enthusiastically lead with that over the Deep Channel Duelist. And we do have, what, like 9 2-drops in our deck or something? I do wonder if this is just worse than the Elementals deck that I could have had, but hey, Deep Channel Duelist, this would have been a, what do you call it, Ashling Rekindled if I had gone that route. So, you know, that would have been pretty sweet. All right, well, there's no keep out here, so no shame in just attacking with Deep Channel Duelist. And hey, anyways, we get to just retap it. And then Champions of the Shoal is just such a good one. So we're going to play a land, play Champions, lock down. If they play a creature, they might tweeze Deep Channel Duelist here. Okay, Rhymekin Recluse, interesting. Well, then I'm going to Champions, locking down Rhymekin Recluse, exiling Silvergill Peddler. Too bad that I don't get to do some card selection here, but that's the way that it goes. And then untap itself. I don't think there's any issue in untapping it, right? I don't see any reason not to untap this, so. Yeah, this is a tough one for the opponent. I have revealed my Champions of the Shoal, so now they'll maybe be cautious with removal later on, but there's not a lot of removal that gets Champions of the Shoal. This 6 toughness is part of what makes it so good. Think about the removal in the set. Cinder Strike, Sear, Tweeze, Blight Rot, you know, a whole bunch of stuff that deals 4 damage and 3 damage. There's also Feed the Flames, which deals 5 damage, which is quite a lot in this set. There's not a lot that does only 2, that does 6 damage here, right? Now with this mana untapped, I'm not going to be attacking with both because they could have the 2/2 flash. So I will attack and lock that guy down. I do not want them to play the 2/2 flash, trade with Deep Channel Duelist, next turn play a land and play a Feed the Flames. That would be an issue for me. Here I think I do just play Shore Lurker. I mean, I don't think they're leading up to a board wipe. I think it's more likely that they're just mana screwed. And Shore Lurker is so good here as a 4/4. And yeah, Glamormite. I can play Glamormite in a Blossom Bind next turn. Very happy to have that one. Oh, and then speaking of Glamormite, okay, very glad I did not attack with Deep Channel Duelist. Okay, so Rhymekin Recluse actually does get to untap next turn. Okay, and then untap this guy. Yes. Okay, so Glamormite plus Blossom Bind next turn. With champions, I can actually tap down 3 different creatures if I want to, which makes my next attack lethal. If they just like play a creature here. Yeah, my next attack. Oh, you get to lock something down. Okay, that's annoying. That is annoying. Oh, that's so funny. Then I get to lock down this guy. And then I'm going to Blossom Bind your champions. Untap my champions. Yes, actually, I don't even have to show them Blossom Bind. Do not want to show them Blossom Bind. Untap my champions of the shoal. Then when it attacks, tap that creature. Tap champions of the shoal and lock it down. You get to tap something, but the creatures are already attacking, so it doesn't matter. And this is exactly a lethal attack that's coming at you. Nice. That was really funny. Okay, so what did we see? Rhymekin Recluse, Glamormite, champions. So we want to be fast. I would say we want to be fast against that deck. And flying is not as much of an advantage. Probably. Well, yeah, they have a Glamormite. Does that make my Glamormite worse? Does it make my Merrow Skyswimmer worse? Glamormite? The fact that Glamormite can just trade with the Skyswimmer? No. Because I make a 1/1, I get my tap activated abilities. So, yeah. Maybe Unwelcome Sprite is not as good when they have Glamormite. I don't have that many ways of activating the Unwelcome Sprite anyways, so maybe cut that and play a Shore Lurker. I'm mainly playing Unwelcome Sprite because flying is so good in this set. It's not so good if the opponent has Glamormites. So yeah, maybe a Shore Lurker instead of Illusion Spinners, I would say. Oh, actually, I forgot to change my default deck to play 17 lands. I probably should. The moment I get flooded, I'm going to regret that decision, but I think this is actually a better build, just given my experience in match 1. Just felt like I underestimated how mana hungry my deck would actually end up being. Come on, fishy aggro. Let's go. Let's go. It's an okay hand. The slowness of it definitely worries me. Are you going to play a 2/1 elemental here? That would be annoying. Yep, you are. That's annoying. Okay. Just going to take a lot of damage, aren't I? Play this, play a 2-drop, play a 3-drop that deals damage to me. Oh no, 2-drop? Okay. Well, I'm not going to Blossom Bind you. I'm about to play a 1/3, and if you kill that one, I'm going to play another 1/3. Here they play a 3/2 though that just passively damages me. Yep. It's pretty, that's rough for me, right? Wow, these have been some incredibly back and forth games, haven't they? Now if they have a removal spell, especially like Temporal Cleansing, I'm taking 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage. Yeah. Okay. Well, they don't have that, so that makes me feel better. Tamifel Rhyme Speaker. Unreal. That is so bad for me. What if I just Omni Changeling their Rhyme Speaker? They don't seem to have removal. Kind of like that move. And then I'm going to start drawing cards. Kind of like that move. They don't seem to have removal. So I want my own Rhyme Speaker. Maybe they do. Maybe they actually have a Seer. In which case, what I did was not the best. But I think I can stay alive, right? I have Temporal Cleansing plus Blossom Bind. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can actually play both of them. Rhymekin Recluse. Oh, okay. I guess they just wanted to play their 4-mana spell. Yep. That's gotta be GG, right? Wow, these games have been so back and forth. Nope. I can put 2 bodies on the field, like Skyswimmer. It's kind of the only way. And then they kill me, so. Because even the 2 smallest creatures are lethal. That was an incredibly fast curve out from the opponent. Let's get 1 step faster. Incredibly fast from the opponent. Really brutal. Whoever's on the play wins. Is that just what's been happening every game? I believe every single game whoever's on the play has won of this event so far. I guess my deck really needs to be on the play. I mean, maybe I should have mulliganed that last hand. It was a little slow, but their deck was so slow the previous time. They were not playing any 2-1 for 2 last game. Any 2-1 for 1 last game, I mean. I haven't seen Cinder Strike from them either. So here, almost certainly I get to attack with Kinscare Sentry. I don't think there's like a 2-3 for that mana combination. There's a 1-3, but I'm still going to attack. You do have Seer or Cinder Strike? Really looks like it. Or you're just trying to understand the card. Blossom Bind, okay. That's really annoying. All right, I'll play a Silvergill Peddler. Would have really liked to be applying pressure by now, but I am not. So that's how that goes. Sizzling Changeling. Sizzling Changeling. What a card. I really want card selection. I really want lands. That's not a land. Tedious. What do I pitch here? Probably one of the 2 drops, to be honest. Probably Unwelcome Sprite. Could be Wanderbrine Preacher because I know they have like Tamifel Rhyme Speaker and stuff. So 2-2 on the ground is maybe not a great stat line. Okay. So tedious. I'm keeping Temporal Cleansing specifically for cards like Tamifel Rhyme Speaker, cards that are just almost an auto win. So that's Giant Fall, not the 1 damage to something. So they could play a 2-2 and play Giant Fall next turn, which would punish me for playing Unwelcome Sprite, but it keeps them off of playing Tamifel Rhyme Speaker, right? This is really rough. I mean, I even went up to 17 lands and I still just can't draw lands. This is really rough. They play a 2-2 and kill Unwelcome Sprite exactly as predicted. I guess I should have not played the Unwelcome Sprite. That was a little bit over optimistic. Now I just have nothing to do. So bad. This is so bad. Omni Changeling is going to be terrible as well. Like there's just nothing for me to target. Twin Flame Travelers, okay. Temporal Cleansing with absolutely 0 going on is like really terrible. Yeah, I mean, I would put myself at like 10% chance to win, maybe 5% chance to win. I just needed to draw lands and get stuff going on. Like even if I had let the Giant Fall expire, they would have just played Twin Flame Travelers 1 turn earlier. Then this turn they would have played Eclipse Flamekin, gotten the land, played Warren Torchmaster, and I would still be so far behind. Okay, I'd have a 2-1 flyer. Doesn't really matter. Does not really help me at all. Still nothing. All right. My out is just amass a bunch of power and flyers, right? I highly doubt I can keep that Glamour Gifter. Well, maybe I can. Because next turn I can look like I'm offering the trade with the Twin Flame Travelers and buff it. And then maybe I Blossom Bind something. So now I guess the idea is just try to get enough damage to and flying. They are now having their own number of lands problem, which is my patented move. Or they're about to play a land. Or they're going to Cinder Strike Blighting onto Enraged Flamecaster to kill Shore Lurker. That's what it actually looks like. Or Blighting onto Eclipse Flamekin. Yep, sure. I don't know, I guess... What? Was I supposed to... pitch like Sundappled Celebrant and keep the 2-2 on the ground? It would not have helped me. This is just so bad. Glamourmite can't even untap Kinscare Sentry. I guess I should have thrown away the Glamourmite. That much is clear. Should have thrown away the Glamourmite. That does not trigger twice because it's not in play yet. Yep, should have thrown away the Glamourmite. Oh, this thing's going to get to attack. They blight onto that and let this thing attack. I've seen enough. Let's go on to the next game. We're just not going to win this. We're going to take 8 damage here, and then they just play 1 spell. So rough. That's so rough. I mean, I had like a great win rate in traditional draft, and I feel like ever since that, I hit the leaderboard at like number 23 or something. And ever since that, I feel like I just like cannot land games. I'm probably just going to cut that card. It's a little low impact and I need to be on 17 lands. I feel like my win rate has approached like exactly 2-1. And I have a long history of going 2-1 in traditional draft, but I swear I did a bunch of 3-0 drafts, 3 different 3-0 drafts off video. And then as soon as I turned the video on, I just started losing these like incredible nail biters. That match, first game was like no contest. I had Champion of the Shoal. This I'll keep. But it was not just Champion of the Shoal that won that game for me. They did essentially nothing. And then game 2, I just got choked on lands. And then game 3, I just got choked on lands. And their deck is like well constructed and stuff. It's not like my opponent was doing nothing that whole time. But, you know, you're staring at so many cards in your hand that could do it for you. It is hard to feel like it's not just getting a little bit unlucky every time I record a traditional draft. But oh well, these things happen in Magic. All right, they keep it on top. I'll play this. I could go for mana efficiency here, but why don't we just go for value? I'm going to attack with a Wanderbrine Preacher and look like I'm offering a trade. And it's not a trade. If they do block, I will Glamour Gifter. If they don't block, I could play Tributary Vaulter. I could also wait until their turn and play the Glamour Might. Tributary Vaulter sounds good. Tributary Vaulter backed up by Glamour Gifter kind of feels like I can push a lot of damage, having them at 18. I'm gaining life, so I don't care if Lissalina Informant is dealing damage to me. Down comes Wary Farmer. They do not attack, and we still can't draw any lands. I love being me. Okay, I'm going to attack because I can get a 2-for-1 here. There's no way they're double blocking, I don't think. Single block is fine. So then I do play the Glamour Gifter. Buff this guy. They do get to Surveil. They're going to be doing a lot of surveilling. But now we can start doing things like if they play a creature, I Temporal Cleansing it. And then the Wanderbrine Treeber can trade with the Wary Farmer, and I'm pushing 2 damage in the air. As soon as we have Merrow Skyswimmer, Tributary Vaulter has a better target to buff a flying creature. Yeah, my issues with number of lands in this event at the beginning made perfect sense because I was on 16 lands. But it's getting to be a bit more of a pattern than it should be. But oh well. This definitely looks like a Vivid deck, right? It's not like an Elf's green-black deck. It's more of a Vivid green-black deck. They're playing the double hybrid here, the double hybrid there. Still can't draw a land. I will play Deep Channel Duelist. Yeah, I'll just play Deep Channel Duelist and attack. I mean, they don't have Blightrot mana. They didn't assert Perfection. They didn't play a creature. It's kind of hard to know exactly what they're going for here. I could Temporal Cleansing this while I still can, but it would involve tapping everything. I could also just play a Merrow Skyswimmer. Here, I think... Yeah, what are they planning? They could have Mischievous Sneakling. That doesn't really matter to me. I think I want to play the Merrow Skyswimmer. It just feels really powerful. And I'm forgoing essentially 3 damage to do it. I think I really want to play Merrow Skyswimmer. Midnight Tilling. Okay, yeah. I should have thought about that. I was only thinking of removal spells. So they get Moonglove Extractor. They milled a Blightrot. Don't mind if they do. So Temporal Cleansing essentially has to target Tam. I guess I'll untap the 3/3 on the ground, or the 2/4. Maybe the 2/4. Actually, what I block with Tributary Vaulter is just a bluff, right? I guess the 2/4 because I already have a 3/3 on tap. This just represents like a variety of stats. Hopefully not Tristan's command. Wildvine Pummeler is okay. Is it okay? It's not, because I have to target, the thing is, I have to Temporal Cleansing Tam. Well, it's actually okay, right? Because 1, 2, 3, and I tap the Tributary Vaulter, targeting Tam. And I'm going to buff Merrow Skyswimmer, right? Or I buff the Wonderbrine Preacher, but then they'll block with Wary Farmer. So let's buff the Skyswimmer. No. What? 1, 2, 3. What's happening? Oh, auto pay. Got it. Buff the Skyswimmer. Tam is going to give something protection from whatever. And then next turn, we can Wander Brine or Wander Wine Farewell. I can never remember what is Wander Wine and what is Wander Brine. So now we attack with the Skyswimmer. If they don't trade, I'm going to play another Skyswimmer. They do trade. Interesting. And then I untap this, but it's end of turn, so I can't cast my other Skyswimmer. That was interesting. I wonder why they traded. Maybe they have another one, but they can't recast it. Oh, they can recast it. No, they can't. Well, if they have another land, they can. No. It does get discounted by 2. They can recast it if they have another one. But then that's going to get Farewell. The only problem is I do have to tap 4 creatures to Farewell it. I mean, I can always Glimmermite it too. I do have just barely enough mana to do that. It's 14 lands in this deck. 1 in 2 chance of drawing a land. Yeah, I'll go down to 20. That's fine. You do get to double Surveil and decide if you want to keep that Tam. I'm sorry, what just happened? Tam disappeared. Oh, yeah. It no longer tells you after they Surveil. It doesn't tell you what this is, but this is still Tam. It's like pretty funny. So the question is, I mean, I could Wander Wine Farewell the Wary Farmer. Could also Glimmermite. Okay, this is actually interesting. I can convoke out the Skyswimmer with Tributary Vaulter and 1, 2, 3, 4. Then play a Glimmermite, untapping the Tributary Vaulter. Then tap it again to double buff something. That doesn't sound very good. Okay, now the question is, what if I just bounce both of their creatures? I don't think that sounds that great either. So maybe I Glimmermite on tapping Wary Farmer. Just trying to push damage here. Glimmermite, tapping Wary Farmer. And then I want to have 5 untapped. So attack like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so then I'll just attack like this. And then I'm going to play a Merrow Skyswimmer. So this is going to buff the Preacher. I gain 2. They're going to play a 4/4 next turn. They cannot also play Tam in the same turn, I don't think. Actually, they can, because this can add 2 mana at this point. And then I'll go ahead and convoke out Merrow Skyswimmer. And then I will untap the biggest one. Well, the 3/3, sure. I don't want to block with Tributary Vaulter at this point. I'm almost representing lethal in the air. Okay, it is a land. Nothing has reach, nothing has reach, nothing has reach. Okay. I need to remember that they have this Wildvine Pummeler. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Looks like exactly lethal. Nothing has reach. No reach. No reach. 1, 2, bonk, bonk. Unless I've miscounted, which is always in my capacity to do, but no, that's lethal. All right, up a game. We always start up a game. I've noticed every match we always start up a game. Let's see. So yeah, small flyers are not as good against this person because of their reach creature. So I wonder if, for example, maybe I cut Shore Lurker. I could play Unwelcome Sprite with the idea that it's just better in the early game. I could also play Runaway together. But actually, Shore Lurker is good with Tributary Vaulter, right? So I actually think playing 1 Shore Lurker is a good move. Okay, I convinced myself. Let's just do that. One of these days, I will get myself some play-in points. I promise you. It's just so funny that I did it all off video. I swear if I just go right now and play another one off video, I'm going to 3-0. This is a slow hand, but I don't think I have the luxury of throwing back this kind of hand. I am on the draw and my first play is on turn 3. That is rough. Lissalena Informant is one way to potentially punish me. Definitely. But I have a good top end here. Okay, that's it. That is a sweet 2-drop. Especially with Glamour Gifter to back it up. I mean, they could just Blight Rot it right now. I do have a first striker here. They must have +2/+0 and indestructible, right? That's kind of the only thing I can think of. +2/+0 and indestructible would kill Kinscare Sentry. At least that's what they're bluffing. Okay, they have a Blight Rot, fine. I don't know why they allowed me the opportunity of blocking. This doesn't have trample, so I don't know why they allowed me the opportunity to block and prevent that damage. That's a little mysterious, but what's done is done. I'll take the next 3. I mean, Pestered Wellguard is going to make a fantastic blocker for Lissalena Informant as soon as I'm able to tap it. I also can Glamour Gifter to block the Lissalena Informant, you know, to make something a 4/4 and block it profitably. Okay, all they get is a land, although maybe that's actually what they wanted, looking at what they have right now. Glamour Gifter itself can block the Informant, or it can make something a 4/4 to block it. All right, I'll play the Plains. I will attack. Yeah, I will attack. That's actually kind of good, right? Do I pitch? Actually, do I pitch that? I probably don't want both Sundappled Celebrant and Omni Changeling. Maybe Omni Changeling is not so good here, but it is a nice way to tap the Wellguard. It's possible I actually just pitch the island, as much as I'm complaining about number of lands. This is tough. It's probably either the Wellguard or the Shore Lurker. Maybe I actually do just pitch the Shore Lurker, to be honest. And I'm going to play the Wellguard. We'll see what they play. 6/5 reach would be a little annoying, but I have my own 5/6 coming down. So next turn, I'll probably just play Sundappled Celebrant, tapping my Wellguard. Interesting. Not attacking is really interesting. Why wouldn't they want to trade? That I'm not too sure that I understand. Do I want to just... I could tap... So for example, yeah, maybe I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... Then I would play Omni Changeling. Nah, that's not worth it. Let's do this and tap the Wellguard. I mean, I could decide that I want to loot, that I actively want to loot. And I do get a 1/1 blocker as compensation. The only thing is I don't also keep up Glamour Gifter. But having a 5/6 and a 1/1 to block with sounds actually pretty good. And I do like the idea of looting here. So, okay, I'm actually going to do that. Sorry, I actually have to tap the Plains. Go that route. Tap, tap. Play this. Tap, and tap. This might be a little greedy, but Silvergill Peddler is not attacking and it's not blocking, so what's the point in keeping it untapped? And yeah, there we go. I just ripped a useless land draw off the top. So I'm happy about that. Then next turn, I'll probably just copy Sundappled Celebrant. Oh, that's a nice one for the opponent. So let's Omni Changeling, tapping Wellguard Peddler. 1, 2, 3. Make another 1/1. Pitch a land. Copy Sundappled Celebrant. Next, and then I think I do just attack with both. If they want to double block, I do not mind. Stump blocking. Sure. Yep, well, we're doing some pretty good population control here. Do I also just play Merrow Skyswimmer? There's no board wipes in the format, really, right? What can they do to me here? Tristan's Command, what else? Like, what are good cards here? Gloom Ripper, what else? Yeah. I mean, Merrow Skyswimmer is very weak against Sapling Nursery, but I think just developing my board is a good move here. Pen the Sprigs, getting a land, make a 3/4, and then make a 3/4. That's awesome. That is awesome. Good for them. Double 3/4. 3/4 o'clock. And then they could play a land for the turn if they want and make another 3/4. That would be pretty incredible. All right. Oh, yeah, I like that a lot. So Temporal Cleansing. Let's bounce a 3/4, tap, tap. Yeah, I was just thinking, wow, I'd really like a way to tap my stuff. Now we're getting good draws. These draws are making up for all the other draws. These draws are making up for match 2 draws. Very good luck for me in this match so far. I mean, it really helps that Silvergill Peddler is ripping all these useless cards out of my deck. All right, and let's go next. In with the team. I don't really see why I would hold back this 1/1. Like, they're going to block a flyer anyways. And these guys are representing 10 damage. If they don't block these two, if they don't block enough creatures, they're just straight up dead to Glamour Gifter. 5, 10, 11, 12. Again, there's like no board wipe essentially, so let's just Glamour Gift the Merrow Skyswimmer and go for value. Instead of 12, instead of putting this up to 15 damage, let's just kill that 3/4. Unless they want to sack Sapling Nursery, which, yeah, I didn't think they would. Yeah, our deck is playing out very nicely. Dream Harvest. Getting a Wanderwine Farewell. That's funny. That's the one that is more than total mana value 5 or greater. So I attack with all these. That's 4 damage. I have lethal on board, right? I have lethal on the board, I believe. Certainly looks like it to me. Another Sun Dappled Celebrant is kind of cool. Yeah, just in with the team. Yeah. Okay, let me see where I landed on the... That was a 67% win rate, which is below where I was at before. Let's see where I landed on the leaderboards today. Shucks. So this event with my 67% win rate in this event dropped me from number 51 on the 17 lands traditional draft leaderboard all the way down to number 71. So definitely looking to avenge myself. I used to be, when I first entered the leaderboard, I was number 23, I think, with an 80% win rate at that time. Then I fell to 51 by having a 2-1 event, and then another 2-1 event puts me down to 71. So definitely looking to reclaim my ways of going 3-0 and finally get some play-in points, much anticipated play-in points. But hey, our Merfolk deck, it worked pretty well. Highly aggressive deck. The Sun Dappled Celebrants were kind of mediocre. We maybe could have had a totally sweet... in fact, I'm quite sure that we could have had a totally sweet Elemental deck. It was just kind of anyone's guess which one was going to be better off. I do think that we made a minor mistake in playing 16 lands at first. We just had chronic problems with number of lands in both of the first 2 matches, even after switching to 17 lands, even in one of these most recent games in this match where I got stuck on 3 lands. But we managed to pull it through because we had an amazing curve, highly aggressive deck, and pretty good overall card quality. Every time we saw Champions of the Shoal, it just took over the game and won for us. Kinscare Sentry was pretty close to being that good as well. And our interaction was fairly good as well. We often had Temporal Cleansing, Spiral into Solitude, and this kind of thing. Overall, drafting Merfolk has been one of my favorite things to do in Lorwyn, so even if it maybe cost me the 3-0 and dropped me down to 2-1, I'm still glad that I got one more run-in of Merfolk. All right, until tomorrow, when I will post another draft, do have tons of fun playing Magic, everyone. And of course, don't be afraid to splash.